Hi, my name is Daintry and I'm Simply Earth's ambassador for anti-trafficking. This month, our feature organization is Wipe Every Tear, and I'm really passionate about what this organization is doing. I had an opportunity to go to Thailand many years ago to work with a organization over there, and it sounds like very similar to what Wipe Every Tear is doing. And so there's a special place in my heart for the type of opportunities they're offering these women who are leaving the life of the sex trade and who are choosing something different for themselves. So I want to share with you briefly what's happening. They have the Wipe Every Tear goes into the clubs in the red light district in the Philippines and builds relationship with the women that are working there. Invites often the means of connection is inviting them off on a retreat that's paid for. It's an opportunity for these women to get away with the Wipe Every Tear staff. They get pampered. They get time to rest and relax. And at the end of the retreat, when they're coming back, they are offered an opportunity to leave their job or wherever they're working, or maybe the situation that they're in where they owe a debt, and so they can't leave. So Wipe Every Tear offers them an opportunity to come live in their safe house. They let the girls know they'll pay their debt, so they no longer are needing to work for the bar owners, and they can then come join a safe home. And so this is just a snapshot of what all is going on there, all the opportunities, I should say all of the unique things that Wipe Every Tear is doing. That's just a small snapshot of what maybe the rescue portion of it looks like. I had the honor of getting to interview Lauren, who works here in the U.S. office, and I asked her what does Wipe Every Tear do best, and she said they give the women a choice. They give them a choice to come join, to come into their care. They give them a choice to stay where they're at or to leave. She said we honor the women as women and we treat them like adults. And we empower them to make choices. So once they've decided to come into the care of one of the safe houses, the women are then empowered with many more choices. Do they want to go to school? What do they want to do? What major do they want to have? Where do they want to work? Those kind of things. Major life decisions that adults need to have the freedom of that choice. So I also asked her, what does every day look like? And from the point of, there's many working parts in this. So she said, on the ground in the Philippines, she said the girls are waking up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. getting to classes, and they travel together to get to their classes. And transportation can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on the traffic, for these women to get to their classes, for their college classes. She said half of them go in the morning and half of them go in the evening, and they are out of all of the safe houses that they had, these women are enrolled in about 3 or 4 different colleges in the area. Each house has daily devotionals that they offer, as well as weekly devotionals. She said certain days of the week they work on the livelihood program, so they make jewelry, they make soaps, mugs. She said if you, at any given time, you can walk into a house and experience one of the women doing Zumba or singing a worship song or doing a watercolor painting. And she said these houses feel like where camp and sorority houses meet therapy. And so she just was expressing this, like, they're just doing life, right? They're doing classes, they're singing, they're working out, they're doing their lives together in a group setting, just like you would in college or at camp. She said there is 15 to 20 women in each safe house, and there's always something going on. There's always people around. There's always somebody doing something. Lauren said that what they do best is giving the women a choice, but she said that's also the hardest part of what they do. They, hands are open. The women may choose to, after the getaway, these women may choose to go back to their life in the bars. They may say, they may come and join a safe house and then decide that they're going to go back to the bars, even after they've been at the safe house for a while. She said that the healing from the extreme abuse they've been through, the trauma, the poverty, and the exploitation is unfathomable. And so some of the girls do choose to go back to the bars. She said that they're often enticed by this idea of having a foreign boyfriend who will pay for things. Even though Wipe Every Tear pays for everything that they need when they're in their care, she said it's so difficult to break some of the poverty mindset that many of these women have. So what will bring them back to the bars is this false promise that they will have an extravagant lifestyle. She said it's really hard to walk back into a bar on an outreach night and to see a familiar face. She said it's very rare that over 90% of the women stay in their care, but when it does happen that a woman decides to return, she says it's very difficult. I asked Lauren what she was most passionate about in her role, in her experience with going over to the Philippines and being a part of their everyday life. And she said she's passionate about everything. She said she's passionate about seeing people become as truly free as they possibly can, overcoming anxiety and depression and drug abuse and this struggle with self-image. She says she's passionate about partnering with Jesus and watching people restored into freedom in whatever area of their life that they're struggling with. She said she used the words to the utmost degree of restoration, and I love that picture because that's what Jesus came for. Jesus came for the utmost restoration. She said they've had so many breakthroughs in this last year, and she said they've seen so many miracles. She said over 20 women came into their care after 3 outreach getaways. She said that these getaways are the most effective way for them, for the women to trust them, and come into their care. Now they have 4 safe houses because they've outgrown their other one, so they added a 4th one. The houses are Love, Wisdom, Hope, and Freedom. Those are the names of the houses. She said another breakthrough from the last year is that women are being delivered and set free from spiritual warfare and poverty mindsets, but also from abuse and from trauma. As they're being set free from these things, they're also discovering their Redeemer and finding Jesus. And she said this has happened to over 60 women. She said they've opened their welcome center, which is at the end of the red light district. If they'll hand out these outreach cards when they go out to outreach in the bars, and the women can come if they have an outreach card, and they get a free coffee and they can have a free meal and they can just come and rest. And if they don't want to be bothered, they can just be alone. It's just a place for them to be taken care of. They've launched some, Wipe Every Tear has launched some new staff members this year. They have their first ever all men's trip. It's very countercultural. She said it went off wonderfully. She said the men that came and did outreach were righteous and redemptive. They actually apologized to the women on behalf of the men who abused them. This all men's trip, the men that came along also interacted with men and buyers within the red light district. The vision is that this would not only bring an end to the demand of the sex trade, but it would also bring healing to men. So how can others get involved? That's the question we always ask. Lauren said that their Wipe Every Tear is actually taking 2019, this whole year, off from public trips. She said so in 2020, that's how she would say, if you want to be involved, follow the link to their website, and you can look at how you can go on a trip. In the Philippines, in order to get into these bars, you have to have a foreigner with you. So they know that the foreigners, what the foreigners are there for, and that the foreigners have money, and so they won't let the Philippine staff into the bars unless there's a foreigner with them. And so that's the way that they get into the bars to do outreach as well. So bringing foreigners over on these trips is very important for them. So like I said, that will be back. They're taking 2019 off from those trips, but they'll be back hosting trips in 2020. The other way you can get involved is by becoming a monthly supporter. So giving monthly, they have a very minimal overhead. Staff raises their own support, and so almost all of the money that's donated or given to their organization goes directly to the houses and to the women. The third way is prayer. They would love your help if praying for these women, praying for the staff members, praying for outreach, praying for the women that are in the clubs, praying for the men that are in the clubs. Also, if you're in the Boise area, that's where their U.S. office is located. They always need help with volunteers to help them with thanking sponsors and miscellaneous projects like that. So if you're interested, you can contact their U.S. office. So I just want to thank Wipe Every Tear for what they're doing. We are so honored to get to partner with you this month, and we're excited to see the things that the Lord does. Thanks.